Thank you to Patreon backers, Fan Major, and Corey Needs Sleep. Thank you again, guys. So a while back, I made this How Strong is Cal Kestis video that did pretty well, standing currently at 9.5k views, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Though in that video, I made a mention that now I find pretty interesting. I remember mentioning how Cal is likely above Ezra Bridger, the Padawan of Kanan Jarrus from Star Wars Rebels. So how about we try and find out who truly is the superior Jedi? Today, let's see who the Force will decide is the winner between Cal Kestis and Ezra Bridger. Now, in my last video, I mostly mentioned Cal's abilities and such, so if you want to have a fully comprehensive understanding of him, I suggest watching that video first and coming back to this one. Anyways, we'll split this into 3 categories: lightsaber skill, skill in the Force, and finally wisdom. So let's start with lightsaber skill. Going by this, we need to look at the different lightsaber forms Ezra and Cal have under their arsenal. Ezra is proficient in Form 5, aka Xian and Dojem So. I apologize for butchering the form's names, which emphasize defense against offensive attacks such as blasters or lightsaber strikes and waiting for an opening to strike. He also studies Form 4, or Ataru, from Anakin Skywalker's old holocron teachings. Ataru was an acrobatic combat style which could be used to defend against upcoming projectiles, but was best suited for open spaces and attacking. He's even shown his own fighting style of using a blaster from his lightsaber in conjunction with the lightsaber combat. So in terms of lightsaber combat, Ezra has both a defensive and offensive move pool, making him pretty hard to kill. Cal, on the other hand, has Form 3, which Form 4 was derived from. As Form 4, people didn't really like the purely defensive tactics without any offense. But basically, Form 3 was in response to blocking blasters. While Cal can literally run or wall run while automatically blocking multiple blasters fired at him at once. With his survival skill, Agile Detection, Cal has a damaged Force connection. Padawan could contend briefly with a casual second sister and even defeat the ninth sister. After his Force connection came back, he was able to fully defeat the second sister, who was so skilled she could predict one's movement via reading their face. He also has many different techniques such as the overhead slash, the dash strike, leaping slash, whirlwind throw, repulse, sprint strike, lightsaber throw, evasive kick, delayed thrust, delayed combo. Cal also has a lightsaber that allows him to use 3 different lightsaber styles at once. You have the single bladed lightsaber, double bladed lightsaber, and then he can disconnect both to use 2 lightsaber blades at the same time. So in conclusion, due to Cal's mastery of Form 3 to the point that he can casually do it while running, 2 of Ezra's forms are useless against him, and Ezra has no way against the various styles Cal can pull off on this fly. So the winner for lightsaber abilities is definitely Cal. Now I know some people maybe argue, but doesn't Ezra have a way to counter him? And not really from what I've seen. Anyone that uses any other different style, Ezra usually has failed against. Next we have the strongest Force user. Ezra has been unconsciously using the Force to save himself from various con artist scenarios that could have gotten him killed. An example being when in the Rebel short property of Ezra Bridger, he had the disturbance in the Force that he was about to be shot. He can also use his Force connection to calm those around him and communicate with beings like Purgil King, and he also has the standard Jedi mind trick. But after studying from a Sith holocron, Ezra learned how to completely control the minds of others, as shown when he forced an Imperial to commit suicide during an attack. Jesus, Ezra. Ezra also has standard Force push, Force pull abilities. What makes him stand out from other Padawan is definitely the dark side ability he has. Cal, on the other hand, is strictly a light side Force user. He has telekinetic Force abilities, the ability to sense danger, Force push, and Force pull. Psychometry that allows him to feel the echo in the Force of an object, allowing him to see his past. The abilities manipulate matter on a subatomic level, as he's able to open a holocron, which requires one to make numerous precision alterations on a subatomic scale. Ezra can also do this, mind you, due to the opening of Sith holocron and Kanan's holocron, but Cal's unique ability is Force slow, which slows objects, bullets, blasters, and people. As shown as a young Padawan, he was able to slow a lot of stormtroopers at once, and with the ability Burst Slow, he can slow all those around him. And he was able to use the standard Force push and pull ability on far stronger levels too. With Howling Push, he can send groups of flying enemies. But let's not kid ourselves, Cal wins this category too. You see, Ezra's biggest difference between Cal is that besides all the standard Force abilities, he can control some animals, and that he has that dark side ability that completely controls one's mind. Here's the problem, however. Cal is so strong in the Force that even when he was disconnected from it, he resisted the effects of Dathomir, which were so powerful that even Jedi Master Cordova's mind was beginning to slip. So Ezra's unique ability doesn't even affect Cal, while Cal's unique ability gets Ezra, so Force point goes to Cal, quite honestly. This seems kind of one-sided, but here's one hope for Ezra fans: finally, wisdom. This is a pretty hard category due, since in terms of maturity, well, both are around the same, arguably. I know that's hard to say for Ezra, since, look at him. It's a Disney show, so of course it's a lot more comedy based, but Ezra has grown up over the years, and Ezra did have enough wisdom to learn to use space wheels to defeat the highly intelligent Thrawn, while Cal also had enough wisdom to learn that the way to defeat his inner demons were to not fight them. But in terms of wisdom, I would say this goes to Ezra, since Ezra really just outsmarted a genius like Thrawn, so I'll give a point to Ezra. Well, it comes down to this: who would win? Well, first let's see how the fight would start. So the way I envisioned the fight is that Cal would find Ezra Bridger and see a holocron with him and request to have it as he wants to destroy the holocron so the Empire doesn't take it. Ezra says he can handle the Empire, and Cal responds by taking Ezra's lightsaber and touching it. This is what he's doing to see if Ezra truly is worthy of it. Once he looks into it, he sees all the dark stuff that Ezra's done before and sees that Ezra is clouded with darkness. So Cloud does not believe that Ezra at all should be trusted with the holocron, and due to this, the battle begins. With various blows back and forth trying to use various uses of force and lightsaber combat to outmaneuver each other, Cal cautiously decides to not show him that he knows Jar Kai, aka double-handed lightsaber style, as the combat goes on. Ezra will try and use various force abilities on Cal, and Cal overpowers back due to the fact that he either has better versions of it or resists one of Ezra's biggest ones. After a while, there will be a point where Ezra does have one edge though. He is a lot more agile, so when Cal tries to go at him, do a quick leap slash, we'll say, Ezra force flips over him and puts his lightsaber right to Cal's neck. Here's the problem though. Cal not only force slows him, but as he force slows him, he ignites the lightsaber, his second lightsaber that Ezra didn't know about, as he detached it the minute Ezra did the flip. Thus, the winner would be Cal. Now, of course, this is just a cool movie-esque way of portraying the fight. I don't think this is how it literally happened. Quite honestly, I think it would really just be how Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul was, 2 to 3 slashes. I think it's a good way of training the fight. Cal is just a superior fighter in this case. Cal is far superior in Ezra in lightsaber combat, as he can fight down Inquisitors, who Ezra couldn't defeat by himself. All the while, he was also fighting the second sister, who can literally read your movements just by looking at you, and he was able to overpower her twice. Ezra's unique style of fighting that Cal has an easy counter to do just makes it harder for Ezra to put up a fight. Not to mention that most different lightsaber styles Ezra's fought against, he's usually just lost against, because he's more so used to Hints and Kanan style from what I've seen. Not to mention that Cal can literally swap between different lightsaber forms and lightsaber styles. He can go from Jar Kai to Darth Maul style to single blade lightsaber all in an instant. So Ezra really would just be completely confused in this case and have no real counter to this. Yeah, while Ezra might have the superior wisdom, it really means nothing coming down to it, since this is a straight up fight, and Ezra's wisdom would more so be used to convince Cal that he didn't do it. But since Cal already has psychometry to see into the past, that really wouldn't help. So overall, I think the one that the World Force decides to be the winner is Cal Kestis. Sorry to Ezra Bridger fans out there that really wanted him to win, but quite honestly, I just think Cal has it in all other categories. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a pretty cool video for me to make. If you like this video, attack the subscribe button, attack that like button, support me on Patreon, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Watch my other videos in the past, because those need some love. And hey, watch the How Strong is Cal Kestis video just to see how strong that dude is. Anyways, I am Dat, and I've given you my attack.